I'm not used to. I know. This is a weird position. I know. So we see the side.
Sean O'Meara.
Present.
Kim Piper.
Present.
I am present. 3 and 5. We have.
All right, we will jump right into student celebrations. And I am just going to start with the early learning center. This is the first one on my list.
Where do I go? This is my first time being here.
I'm right up here in the center.
Well, I would like to
What's your
invite Sloan Ansel to come up with me. So this is the lovely Miss Sloan Ansel, and she has been with the Early Learning Center. This is her second year. She is actually in my classroom at the Early Learning Center, and this is her second year with me. So I could stand up here and sing her praises all day long, but the reason why I selected Sloan as our Student of the Month is because she is always encouraging her friends every day in the classroom. She loves to cheer them on when they accomplish a new task. Sloan is always their biggest cheerleader, and she is really just a wonderful example of contributing positively in the classroom. So Sloan, would you like to tell us what your favorite colors are, or would you like me to tell everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sloan, a few things about Sloan. Her favorite colors are light blue and pink. Her favorite thing about school is recess. And Sloan wants to be a scientist, and she has stuck to this for as long as I have known her. She has never changed what she wants to be when she wants to grow up. She wants to be a scientist, and she loves to eat red apples. So congratulations to Sloan on being a wonderful student and a wonderful young knight. And I have a little certificate here for you. You can take that and give that to Mommy and Daddy. You can keep that. Okay?
High five. We're going to give you a high five. I love that you're wearing blue and pink. Good job. Keep going.
Good job. Good job.
Sloan, will you come over and get a picture with me? Right. You're welcome. So you're sitting right here with me. Millie, I think Millie wants to take our picture. Yes. Actually, well, I think you could do your own picture. Come up for just a little bit. Just a couple steps up. There you go. You're gonna hold this. There you go. Okay. So, do any parents want any pictures?
Grandma does.
Come back, Sloan. You gotta cookie another one. Grandma wants to go. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Yay. Right, next, we will go right into the elementary.
Okay, I would like to invite Miss Ashlyn. Okay, Ashlyn is our Student of the Month at the elementary, and I'm going to see, do you want to share, or do you want me to share some of your favorites? Okay, so Ashlyn, her birthday is on May 17th. Her favorite color is Taurus. Oh, wait, what is this? Okay, wait a second. Wait, I know her favorite color because I was part of the interview. That must not know what you did there. Her favorite color is pink, as we can tell here. Her favorite food was pizza, in particular it was cheese pizza, right, from Pizza Hut. She does have 3 animals. It was Wrigley, Tay, and Jax. And I think we see the 2 doggies there, but she also has a cat. Her favorite hobbies were spending time with family, swimming, sleepovers, and relaxing. My kind of girl. Her teacher said that she is contributing well to 3rd grade. She is a great leader in the classroom, and she's always willing to help her friends. Some of the things that she loves. Want to share some of the things that you love?
I love friends, family, and God.
Friends, family, and God.
And she loves NES because she likes Mrs. Boyce. Mrs. Boyce is kind. And that's who nominated her for Student of the Month. So let's give her a round of applause.
I looked at you.
Middle school.
Ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, so I'd like for you guys to meet Meadow Richards. Meadow is in the 6th grade, and she has some special people with her. Do you want to tell us who you brought with you today?
That's my mom, my sister, and my father.
So Meadow tells me that Jennifer is mom, and she likes art festivals, and stepdad is Mark, and sister is Melody, and she is a 2nd grader at Northeastern Elementary School. And she has 3 dogs, and it was purposeful that they all start with the letter L: Liberty, Lola, and Lulu. Her favorite classes are social studies, nutrition and wellness, and science. Her favorite teachers are all of them. And that was a hard choice. We had to think about that one for a long time, but she decided to go with all of them. That was very politically correct. When she grows up, she wants to be a video game designer or an actor. And in her spare time, she likes to play video games, play with her dogs, play basketball, and root on the Los Angeles Lakers. The way that Meadow belongs is that Meadow plays softball, and she's in the band. She plays the clarinet. She grows. Meadow is kind and smart, and she likes challenges and solving problems, including puzzles. And the way that she contributes is that she's also a team player, and that she can be very competitive, but she also believes in good sportsmanship. This is Meadow. Everybody high five at the end of the
All right, high school.
Good evening. This is Camden Sum. She is you're still a sophomore, aren't you? Feels like older. Camden is a member of, she's a member of Northeastern's volleyball team, basketball, and track teams. She's also involved in several other extracurriculars. She grows Camden is a perfect blend of stoic and transparent, and has endured more than most of her at her age. Regardless of the obstacle, Camden puts her head down and works, and has yet not to come out on top. She contributes by naturally picking those up around her. She is a natural leader and demonstrates this daily in the classroom and on the court. Camden instinctively helps her peers and is a student that a teacher can lean on to help a class help a cat. Why don't you just read it for me? Help keep a class moving during instruction. In her spare time, she likes to play sports year-round, spending time with her friends, and can often be found at Smoothie King or Starbucks. What's your favorite smoothie?
I don't get smoothies, I get acai bowls.
Oh, acai bowls. I'm sorry. So, but this is Camden Sum. So, she was nominated by Mr. Kiesling from the English department. So, congrats. You gotta go this way. You gotta get
That's for all of us. Sorry.
Thank you.
Stand on the wall, you have to stand in separate two ways. Good job. Thank you. All right, that concludes student celebrations, and we're gonna move right into administrative reports. And we are going to start with our newest superintendent, Ms. Jennifer O'Brien.
It is homecoming week, so join us at the game Friday night against Union City. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of the homecoming dance pictures this weekend. So, I'd like to thank Mr. Markward for taking the lead in organizing the mock accident that we had last week. Congratulations to Judy Jackson. She completed her coursework and is a certified mindfulness practitioner. So this is an evidence-based intervention for anxiety, trauma, and behavior. And Judy runs the reset room at the elementary. With much appreciation to our partnership with Communities and Schools, Marcy Lindahl filled in at the middle school from day one until Haley Deanworth assumed the CIS coordinator role. Also, thank you to Kathy Loomis at the elementary and to Lynette for their continued work. And Lynette is at the high school. Northeastern received an exemplary behavior report. The report stated the Randolph Invitational was a high school and middle school invite. During the middle school girls race, Nicholas Markward was running his cool down and saw a young lady from a different school struggling. He stopped during his cool down to encourage her. What a great show of sportsmanship. So congratulations to Nick. I also want to thank Matt Haynes and Tyler Hosteller. They've been assisting and planning with grading as we have completed the hiring process for a new social studies teacher, which will be on the consent agenda tonight. I was a guest this week on Nightline Live with Jerry Middleton and Rick Fletcher. They are an energetic duo and a lot of fun. But I encourage you to watch their productions. They're in their 5th season and coming up on their 400th episode. I was a little nervous at first, but I was very impressed by the production setup, and especially the students who ran the cameras and gave me all of my cues, so they made it so easy. But you can find them on YouTube or Facebook under Northeastern live streams. So, and I also just want to thank everyone for their kind words and words of encouragement since becoming superintendent. And a special thanks to the 2nd grade team for my beautiful plant.
I have a question.
Yeah.
First of all, I watched you on Nightline. The Nightline.
Nighttime,
Yeah. It was very good. You did a
Yeah.
good job. I also wanted to ask about ag, like our ag teacher. Right now, we only have one ag teacher.
That is correct.
Are we doing anything to like change that? How's that?
Yes, so we had our first district discussion tonight. We talked about it there. Allison McCummins is our ag teacher. It is a lot on her. By going down to one teacher, it's limited our middle school offerings. Also, students that have been in the pathway have found difficulty fitting it into their schedules. And so we are looking to add another ag teacher. So we'll be posting that this week. And
So it'll be a high school ag teacher or just?
Allison right now serves the middle school and high school.
So what will the new teacher? Same?
In the past, we've done, it's been a high school and middle school, so it's kind of a shared staff that we do. Typically, there's one that's simply all high school, and there's one that does high school and middle school. So it's just working out that nuance of who that person is.
Good, that'll be nice.
So it'll give us plenty of time to search for candidates, and then we're looking at a start date and updating schedules for January.
Is there anyone that we know that will apply, or is there anyone in mind, or?
No, I mean, I think there was some interest before the position was cut. So now that we're bringing that position back, I don't know if that interest is still there. That I've heard, of a couple potential people that may be interested, so. But it'll give us plenty of time to spread the word and get Allison some help.
Any other questions? All right, we will jump, thank you very much. We'll jump right into Early Learning Center.
So, we started off our year really, it's been a great start to the year. We're settling into our routines. We've welcomed 3 new staff members at the Early Learning Center this year, Wanda Shelley, Kiara Wright, and Anna Kolb. She's our float, she's our building float. And then, right now, our current enrollment at the Early Learning Center is at 48 students. We have 3 students that attend part-time 3 days a week in the red room for our 3-year-olds. We had 1 student that moved out of district in our 3-year-olds class, and Mrs. Curtis filled the spot the very next day with a student from the wait list. So 48 students in our building, and then in the pink and purple room at the elementary, 24 students over there to start the year. Our staff in the Early Learning Center, we had our first PLC, and we focused on student learning goals and our scope and sequence for our 3-year-olds, just to make sure that everything's aligning so that, we're building off of skills. And we talked about the importance of differentiation in our small groups to make sure that we're being intentional that way. We're looking forward to our first field trip to Brumballs on September 30th. And I wanted to give a special shout out to Steve Burge, Matt Booker, and Officer Brown for assisting with our September fire drill. It was really helpful and made me feel a lot better running that drill, having them in the building, and they offered to come over and assist with every fire drill for the remainder of the year. And I'm just really grateful for team players like that. They're willing to step up and help out. So I think that's all I've got.
What is the highest enrollment we've had in preschool? Do you know?
I do not know that number.
I'm just curious.
I think that this is probably our highest number because we have 7 classrooms.
Which we do, there was going to be a wait list, so we decided to add the other preschool class, before school was out, and then we still have a wait list.
How many people are on our wait list, do you know?
Do you know how many are
I
on
don't
the wait
know.
list? Not as many as there were before we added the class, but yeah.
A lot of kids.
Good.
Elementary.
We have upcoming parent-teacher conferences on the 22nd, but our teachers have been very flexible and accommodating to families, so they've been hosting them like this week and next to just accommodate different schedules. We have this spectacular book fair, trick or treat, and donuts with grown-ups coming up on October 30th. Several teachers have visited Fairview Elementary last week, and more will go tomorrow to observe teachers utilizing reading materials that NES now has, thanks to the board. We have some teacher shout outs. Our special ed team has rocked it, especially working with this new Indiana IEP system for special programs. They are in overdrive every day, but they still have smiling faces and are working best to support our students. Teaching assistants have made all the difference in a smooth transition to a new school year. They're working with kids, they're covering other duties, they're stepping in where they're needed, they're being big team players, and so we very much appreciate them. They are invaluable. And then we wanted to give a big shout out to Mrs. Oler, Mrs. Cofield, Mrs. Feta, and Mrs. Villaforte, who just got married over the weekend. They all moved to a new grade, and that can be scary. However, they've made that change look effortless, though we know that it's a lot of work. So we want to give them a big shout out and good job to them.
Sounds busy.
Yes.
How, I know Mrs. Oler was one of them, and I don't remember who the other one was. They did the follow the classroom.
Looping?
Looping, yes.
Yeah, looping, thank you. How's that?
So I have checked in with both of them, and they're kind of in like a honeymoon phase right now because Mrs. Feta, she went from kindergarten to second, but she lived with that group. And so they're like, it's amazing. Like they can do all the things. So they're very much loving it. They said the relationship building, they already knew the kiddos, so it made it easier for even back to school night, like coming in with the families. So they're appreciating the experience. And then we have Ellie Cofield, who intends to loop for the next year. And she says like she's excited, like developing the relationship now to know that her end game right now is not a year from now, it's 2 years. So having that plan and that vision to build that, they're excited about the opportunity and really enjoying it right now.
I remember the beginning of the year was one of the key goals in that whole process was to start faster,
Yes.
stronger. So I'm glad.
And they were able to hit the ground running, and that's kind of what they were excited about. They're like, I don't have to be expectations, they kind of know them.
Yeah.
And even Mrs. Feta, having a year in between the group, she said the same thing. The kids knew the expectation, and she's able to just go with it.
Very good. Thank you.
Middle school.
So we got some exciting things coming up on September 25th. The 8th grade will attend a junior achievement event at Sunnyside Education Center in Newcastle. As of the time I wrote this, there are 16 businesses that are participating and 18 booths for students to visit, plus students will have the opportunity to visit and to participate in. This is the pitch to showcase their 30-second elevator pitch, as well as use their VR headsets to explore some careers. On October 15th, the 6th grade students will be going on a field trip to BizTown in Indianapolis for a career exploration opportunity. The middle school will begin their first round of iLearn checkpoints in October. Read Health will be meeting with middle school students on the 3rd Wednesday of each month to provide further information regarding careers in the healthcare field. They did that today. Today was their first meeting, and I had 20 8th graders meeting with various, I said Read Health, but I think it's IU East actually. IU East had several of their nursing employees here. They had a variety of things set up. They could check their ears, they could check their blood pressure, they could use different PPE clothing, put it on, try it on, and it was just a buzz of activity. They really enjoyed it. All of them wanted to wear their PPE gear back into class. I said, probably not a good idea, but I love their enthusiasm. Parent-teacher conferences will be on September 22nd, and as the elementary stated, some of the teachers are working in advance to try to get some of those met in a timely manner too as well. And I would also like to thank Mrs. Anderson and Mrs. Bell for all their hard work for keeping the front office flowing smoothly. In addition, Mrs. Anderson was extremely helpful during the mock accident. I would also like to thank Mrs. Tyree and the cafeteria staff for donating some water to several Randolph Southern students and their staff as they waited to return to their school. And I would also like to thank Marcy Lindahl for her work filling in while we were waiting for a CIS employee. And Haley Dingworth is our new employee, and she's been working out very well lately. So we're very excited to have her.
And on the consent tonight, we're asking for approval for a new school counselor.
Yeah, new school counselor. So, and she comes very highly recommended, and she's super excited. She today got to get some paperwork filled out, so she's just kind of doing the administrative stuff.
Any questions?
Any questions?
You're doing great. High school.
It's been quite busy. Several shots, there's several teachers that have stepped up this semester and helped out with covering classes. It's been several different, lots of field trips and all kinds of things going on this month that I don't feel like I've experienced before in September. So Shaquille, Mrs. Moreland, Ms. Wilson, Ms. Doris, Ms. Craig, several of them jumped up to step up and cover our class in their prep willingly. So I appreciate them. Really appreciate the admin team as well. And just with the support with Mrs. Tinkle departing, it's been super busy. So the help from everybody's been helpful. Mrs. Bryan's been amazing as far as support and leading us and helping us with any things that we have coming up from the teachers, from that side of it. Right now we started planning for PSAT. We'll do that in October. We'll do this for all grades 9 through 11, and we have 25 eighth graders that will take it. The idea is if we start getting kids ingrained in it, understanding it, we also take that data, use it in the Excel. And we're doing test prep now this year to kind of help drive our scores up and get the kids where they need to be. Teachers are starting to get on board and understand what the goal is. And so that data uploads into IXL. IXL does a test prep plan for each student. And that's what we work towards every Tuesday and Thursday, working on that. MTSS at the high school, Dr. Scales has come on board as our MTS person for the middle school. Ideally, I love it because she's doing the middle school already, so it's going to be the transition from middle school to high school makes it much easier. It's a common theme that we go across. We did one of our PD days. She did a PD with staff, and so we met this morning. So our next steps will be to do a survey of high school teachers of how do you feel with MTSS. What are some things that you weren't sure? What are some concerns you have? Then how to really drive it home for our next staff meeting to really present that and keep moving forward with it. This past Friday, we did the mock accident. I know I was in charge, and Mr. Hinkey stepped up as well, and all of our law enforcement partners were awesome. We took all the high school out there, and then Randall Southern brought their junior and senior class. We had probably over 500 kids out there. And the way it was set up, CareFlight brought in a narrator, and it was really good. The kids really kind of took to it. We had some kids that got a little woozy, and just to kind of, the idea that they're seeing their friends in cars with, and they have blood and makeup already on them, and to sit there and see that, some of the students' siblings really were kind of affected by that. And so the idea was that we helped them understand distracted driving, what the consequences can be. And so that part of it was instrumental in helping the kids understand that. And, sometimes you go out there, you think you might have some behavior issues. All the kids were locked in and paying attention when they saw some things that they hadn't seen. And one of our students that's big into horror movies sat there and was watching it. And to the point where he was starting to get sick to his stomach, so he tried not to pass out, or tried not to get sick, but he passed out. But again, at the end of the day, he understood that, okay, that makes a big difference, and that was really impactful. So the law enforcement and our first responders were amazing. The way it was set up, and it's been planned for over a year. We started planning this last school year, and then to have it pulled off, then going into, you wonder, like, how's this gonna go? It went flawlessly. It worked out great. The sheriff's office had their drone over, so they recorded it as well. And I don't think there was sound on it, but still the idea of how everything went down was really good. So the cars will be out there through homecoming this week. Then after that, they'll be picked up. So
Do we plan on repeating this yearly, or is there a time
probably about every
frame?
3 years.
3 years.
Just because if you do it every year, you kind of lose the impact on it. So every 3 years will be the goal. So this year's freshman class will see it again as seniors, but then any of the other kids that are younger will not have seen it. We have a debrief on Friday to kind of go through what are some things we learned from it, what are some things that we can do to improve, and then kind of next time, what are we going to do? And just, even just as simple as turn the car sideways the other direction so the kids can see more of it. So.
What is MTSS?
Multi-tiered support systems of support. So it's really working within the classroom. Tier 1's going to be more of your in the classroom explicit instruction. And then you get into tier 2 where it's more of a small group, where if you've got a group, the whole group of class, the whole class, as a majority of these kids get it, so then we're going to take the kids that don't necessarily understand it, we're going to break them down into small groups, then to really try to drive from that instruction. And then tier 3 is where that's more of a pull out. It's newer to us. It's more kind of a pull out series where it's, okay, we know you need some more instructional help. And so we're going to sit down and go through that. So.
It combines like RTI and social emotional together. So, and that's what creates MTSS. So it's a combination of those two things together.
And the newest on our administrative reports this year is our athletic director.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
My main reason for it is kind of, I need to ask your permission to do something. It started about a year ago. I was approached to attend a meeting of some other schools that are other 2A schools and looking at forming a new conference. Along with Centerville and Northeastern were invited from the Tri-Eastern Conference with some other schools who we have on our regular schedule and other sports and things like that. And in that discussion, I thought it was the best idea to try to incorporate them into the Tri-Eastern because of the history that we have and things like that. And so this process has been going on to the past year and kind of finalized last week. We formulated a plan. We had two options. One was to invite in, I believe it was two 2A schools, Shenandoah, Eastern Hancock, try to get Monroe Central and Westville to join our conference to increase the competition is the best way to say this. If you've been to any of our games over the past few years, there's an uneven equity in the abilities of some schools versus others. You can see some of the scores from blowouts, things like that. Last week, we beat Lincoln 89-6 in football, scored 63 points in the first quarter. Union County, we scored 42 points in the first quarter. Northeastern's done the same thing to them. Homecoming, this week we play Union City, and that's the same kind of thing. It's not gonna be, it'll be fun atmosphere and exciting, stuff like that. But I don't think the competition levels, you're gonna see it. So with that in mind, we were trying to come up with things, and the one of these schools want to know why and what's in it for them and things like that. So option one was to bring those schools in every sport, because that's what somebody said, they only want to do every sport. And that got voted down, 5-4. Then the next option, which we thought was the best compromise, was to just maybe only do it in football, because of the number of games you have in the other sports, you can schedule some more competitive teams outside the conference. So we thought we just brought them in, we split the division, we split into two divisions, big school, small school. We suggested you could do it for all the sports if you wanted, and the smaller schools could have a chance at winning a conference title or the all sports trophy and things like that. And that was also shot down. Now, Union City was all for it, all for the merger and bringing it, because they understand the situation. They have openly said in this room, they know that they can't compete with us and Centerville in a bunch of schools. Union County, who is a 2A school that's declining, openly said the same thing. They can't compete with us. Lincoln openly admitted that they know they can't compete with us and stuff like that. But we needed 2/3, we needed 6 votes, and we lost 5-4. So what I'm asking for permission for is to look to try to find some options of maybe leaving the TEC and joining a new conference that would be more competitive for our kids. Just today, our JV volleyball team will not be able to play on Thursday because the other team doesn't have a JV. I believe it's since earlier today. It's the third team this year, only into maybe 10 games, where our players, our JV players, our young players, growth and athletics is being stunted because they don't have a chance to go compete because other schools can't field enough kids on the team. They're not competitive at all. And we've reached a point where I've been here since 16 and I can't remember us not having enough kids for a team. We have enough kids to compete. We are competing at a high level in everything, all the way down to middle school. We always have enough kids. And their growth is getting stunted when we play a smaller school and they only have they have an 8th and 7th grade combo team instead of just 8th grade and just 7th grade. And so we've reached a point where we're at a high level in this conference right now. We're always at the top. I have some preliminary points added up with the girls are going to win the all sports trophy for the second year in a row, and it's not even close. Again, Centerville's number 2 and everybody else is really far behind us. We're just clearly, I don't want to sound like I'm being arrogant or anything like that, but when you look at the data, we're clearly higher than everybody else. And so with that, there are some schools out there that are interested in us joining them that are fairly close geographically. It would be a proposed idea. There's about 5 2A schools and 3 3A schools that, again, we kind of have them on our schedule in other sports spotting here. I polled all of our head coaches, and they are overwhelmingly in favor of joining this group, or the possibilities of joining the new group is very exciting to every single one of our coaches. One coach was kind of down on it, but everybody else sees the benefits. We won the conference in several sports, and if you look at some of our teams, girls basketball, boys basketball have won plenty of sectionals. We're trying to get past that regional hump. The best way I know how to do it as a coach is to play better teams throughout the year. If you can play enough teams that, or maybe like Heritage Christian, who has been a stumbling block for the girls basketball team, if you're playing Jade County, you're playing Newcastle, you're playing LaPel, you're going to see some of those things. And I've just seen it enough times in my own coaching career. When you can get your kids to face better kids a couple times a year, it's not a shock when you get to the state tournament. You're not intimidated, which I've seen happen before. Kids just completely intimidated because this other school came from Indianapolis and just never played the way that you knew that they were capable of. And I'm just, as an athletic director, I can't sit there and just be status quo. I can't. It's never been my way. I'm always trying to push and be the best as I can.
Who is it that votes? You said that it was voted down. Who votes?
The schools, like I was voting for our school after I had talked to both of them.
So is it the athletic directors that vote? Is it some principals, some athletic directors?
I know, I can tell you this. What I understand is Knightstown voted no. The information given to me is their superintendent doesn't like Eastern Hancock. I don't know how much Lincoln talked to everybody in their department. Hagerstown spoke within their administration and voted no. Winchester, their reason, they thought the travel was going to be too much. Like I said, it was.
So
Anyways, yes.
Yeah, it's based on what, like, we sat and talked together, where are we at, what do we think? So this would be our one vote, and then we went from there. So each school that's in the conference had the opportunity to vote when they wanted.
So what was the vote? 5-1?
5-4 to not expand.
And who said yes?
Union County, Centerville, Union City, and us.
So if we pull out, are the other ones pulling out too and trying to form another one? Or form?
I wouldn't leave unless Centerville. We're kind of, we get along enough, we're so similar enough, that rivalry is amazing, we don't want to lose that. And they agree, they couldn't, Clay Bolser is talking to his school board, I believe, I'm not sure if it's tonight, but he's having the same conversation. And they won't go without us, and I don't think we could go without them. That wouldn't make any sense.
And you said the coaches, specifically, what does Wes think and what does Brent think?
They are 100% behind.
They are yeses.
Yes.
So all the coaches are pulled from fall, winter, and spring sports.
Yeah,
think
I
there
sent
was-
to every head coach.
Every head coach, and there was one that was against it.
What
And I
level
think-
was that?
I'm
What's
sorry.
that?
What level? Was
I
it
did all the high school coaches.
What was it?
The varsity coaches, varsity head coaches
Oh.
is what I asked.
Okay. Who said no? Or who wasn't with it?
I can, my wrestling coach, Conco.
So how did they do? How is wrestling?
Well, wrestling's done fine. We won the TC last year. We have numbers for years have started to grow in the wrestling program here. Even when I coached against Northeastern, I was at Hagerstown many moons ago. But it's continued to grow. And so I think in Todd's side of it was more or less because of some of the other schools that would be a part of it, that he didn't think we'd be able to win against them. So at the end of the day, I think the competitive edge that we can gain out of this, I'm going to use basketball last year. Boys and girls had over 20 wins each, right?
24.
24, and then but the games that they lose are those games against the more competitive schools that we don't see. So when you look at all the sports, we get to volleyball, we can do really well. until we get to some of those bigger, some more competitive schools, we struggle. We kind of get in that headset of, okay, now, it's not all the schools, but we run into some of the things where that you wonder every year, whether, I'm not trying to be negative, but is Lincoln gonna have a team? Are they gonna show up or are they gonna cancel? I mean, that one point they had, last I heard, they had 15 kids in the football team, 2 kids were out, and one of the kids got ran over by one of our kids in the game.
12 by the end of the game.
That's unsafe.
I
It's so
watched
frustrating.
that game. We stayed the first quarter and it was very unsafe for Lincoln.
And so that's what, our considerations are thinking about is safety, as far as what that looks like, giving our kids more opportunities to excel. And then, just the idea of, I think Ryan and Clay Bolster did the right thing, trying to bring in, we're not gonna leave, the intent was, we're not leaving NCC, let's grow it, let's make it bigger, let's make it better. So I use the Big Ten analogy. Big Ten could have stayed as the Big Ten, but now they're much bigger than that, and they brought in all kinds of schools. They increase the competitiveness while still maintaining what their expectations are. And so I mind, but I applaud Ryan for trying to do that route instead of saying, oh, we're out. Trying to bring others in to make us all better, and there was unfortunately shut down.
No, I mean, I've seen it before because I'm familiar like with the football team and I've seen it. We would go out and play and our starters would play the first half and then they would have to come out. And then we meet with Eastern Hancock in the sectionals and our kids are exhausted because they've never played a full game, but we
Yeah.
couldn't keep them in the whole time.
Correct.
So I 100% agree with what you guys are saying, 100%. Now, when you go way back in history, Northeastern they were not always
No.
what they
True.
are now.
No.
We were the losingest school around, and when I was in school here, it was not,
Yes,
yeah, right, it was not good.
Yeah.
Our culture started changing, so many years ago, and the culture's still here, and it's great, and it's fantastic. So when I knew you were gonna talk about this, we went to that Lincoln game, just to
Okay.
see.
I'm glad
And
you
we
did.
were like, oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not.
it's changed since I've seen a football, here.
The whole thing, when we tried to bring it in and trying to be as honest as we could. I told you, those ADs admitted that they know that they can't compete with us. But yet we're so unwilling we were trying to just increase competition for us, come up with a system where they could still find games, stuff like that. And all I heard from them, the smaller schools, was what's in it for us. And they're just taking from us is what it is.
It's to keep their players safe. I mean, it's not good for their players.
No, and why
Not at
they
all.
couldn't see that, because anyone else that has, referees have heard about all this kind of stuff, and I don't know how to lie very well, so I'm just saying things, what I know, whether it's, everybody's supposed to know the truth or not. So I just say it, and I haven't come across anybody saying, no, that's a crazy idea, why would you do that? No, they all go, how come they can't figure this out?
Times change and
Yeah, I think we've evolved. I think we are involved with the way the athletic transfers can happen. In our programs being successful, I know we've gained a cross-country runner here, a girls basketball player, some volleyball players, all because this new rule that allows them to pick a new school within their first 3 years of high school.
Yeah, and if you could hear some people saying cons like, oh, this is a school, it's not about athletics, but that's not true. A lot of the high-level, smarter grade, kids, they play athletics, but they also are doing good in school and stuff. So it's not just like, oh, let's look at this as it's a athletic thing. This is all around.
Yeah.
This helps all the kids. So I think it's a good idea.
Who all would be at the conference then? Or do you know that even?
I have a pretty good idea.
Okay.
Northeastern, Centerville, Eastern Hancock, Shenandoah, LaPel, Newcastle, Jay County, and Delta.
Will you say it again?
Sure.
Northeastern, Centerville, Shenandoah.
Passing orders.
Yeah, Northeastern, Centerville, Eastern Hancock, Shenandoah, LaPel, Jay County, Newcastle, and Delta.
Delta's Quincy, right?
Yeah, just a little bit outside of Muncie.
So,
Lapel's the farthest away. Mr. Bolser kindly put a travel thing together. That would be our longest trip, 56 miles on average, or I believe it's about 38.7 miles on average between those schools. It increases a little bit of travel, but we also get the benefit of all of those schools. When you look on paper, they bring people to games.
So
It's
that's,
not the 10 people from Union City to see the volleyball game the other night, or the,
so what things do you anticipate being affected outside of the student competition? I think that one's clear and how that benefits our students, but what do you anticipate being affected in terms of like structure, support that we'll have to give to the athletic program in order to make a change like this? For example, our visitor bleacher section in our football field is not very big. I don't know that it could hold a Delta crowd.
correct.
Would we need to, I mean, there's, yeah,
That is a
that's
possibility.
it's a minor thing, but are there other things like
Ahead of time,
that?
tell them bring lawn chairs.
Yeah, right, yeah.
We'll invite them on
And I
the
don't-
track, they can have that side right
I don't
there.
mind if that's the
I'll-
response
I'll-
either, but I'm wondering if there are any other things that you, having thought of this for a while, could say, well, we would also have to anticipate something like this being an early change or early effect to a shift in conference.
I look at long-term, yes, are we gonna have to make an upgrade to the facility? Like,
Yeah.
I would say so. The biggest benefit I thought when I saw it is that when we talk about all of those teams are gonna have JV teams.
Mhm.
We're not gonna miss out on that kind of gate and things like that. They're all gonna be competitive. I mean, that's why we have them on the schedule for a lot of reasons and other stuff, competitiveness. I know cross country or our track coach was kind of excited when we just started. He was really jumping ahead. I'm just talking about if I can get permission. And he's talking, oh, wow, we have the case, we have the conference meet at Delta. They have beautiful track facilities. I'm like, okay, that's great. I'm not there yet, but those kind of things would all be in the works. And I mean, over time, it'd be great if we could upgrade things so that we could also host and things like that.
Long-term upgrades are, that's expected. We're trying to grow a program.
Yeah.
I'm thinking just more like what's the immediate hit that we need to address if we were to make a shift like this, like, is there one, or have you thought of any?
Well, nothing jumped out to mind.
Probably need more parking spots.
More parking spots.
Well, yes, that's it.
Yeah, well, like.
Well,
That's the reality.
Some of the things I think that, initially, out of the gates, we're gonna have higher attendance rates.
I mean, we just bought a new golf cart for
Yeah.
security to be able to, I mean,
We don't
that's a
usually
minor thing, but
Open up the elementary parking lot, but that would be something clearly, we put the gate down there and.
Yeah.
We can put a ticketed entrance down there as well, so that's overflow.
So is there a way you can do this for like only certain sports and not others? Can you do it for football and maybe baseball and basketball and not wrestling?
Again, so at the end of that meeting where everybody voted down, the question was kind of asked, and we were told if we started to explore that they would explore kicking us out of the TEC.
Oh.
And I don't want to share all the ideas and comments I have about that. That wouldn't be appropriate right here.
Who would kick us out?
It would have to be a vote of 6-3. They'd have to show just cause, and they're not having that meeting on our campus. I can tell you that right now. That's been expressed in some short terms.
What would the IHSAA say about all this?
They don't really play into the conference. There's a lot of conferences
They don't.
moving now. They're just,
Don't have any say in it, they can't, not fine us, but they can't do anything.
No, there's no
to us.
monopolizing or anything of that nature, that they can do that. Typically, they're gonna look at that, when it comes to the conferences, they let the schools pretty much have a conference side of it. It's nothing where you can bring schools in, you can take schools out of a conference, they're not gonna ask questions about it. At the end of the day, they're gonna wanna make sure that you're following eligibility requirements that the HSA sets forth. So that aspect of it, there's not much, they're gonna not really do anything as far as who's in what conference and how they do that.
So this is a big thing to do this.
Yeah.
This is huge. So, and I know it's not just you, you're like the voice and you're bringing it, but like, you're willing to take this on, you're gonna put it on your back and you're gonna do this, because this is huge, because if it starts, people are gonna be upset, people are gonna, I mean, this is a big deal.
The thing about it is, again, I know it's gonna be brand new for parents and stuff like that, but if you start talking to them when they go to the games, to the Lincoln and stuff like that, I had somebody who was a parent in the stands, like, most of them were on their phones watching the Winchester Centerville score of that game. Centerville lost, everybody, you didn't know. And because our game was over in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I think they would welcome not having to do some of that stuff. I think our parents support our kids, support our teams, I believe, really well.
I agree, but someone's gonna be mad.
Right.
The other
Okay.
schools are gonna be
I
mad,
can't make
But
everybody.
I think the flip side, so I happened to get on social media last night, and one of the schools that voted it down is getting blasted all over social media for not voting it in, because they said, why not increase it? You're missing out, and then there's 56 comments when I stopped looking. And I was like, ooh, and now they're calling for heads, they want people, heads to roll because you just missed a great opportunity. So I think there's both, you're never gonna make everybody happy.
Right,
I
right.
think at the end of the day, if we're putting students first and putting our school first, that's is the big thing. Down the road, we'll see the payoff on the road for sure. We might have some bumps and bruises of learning, and then also like, we might lose some games that we're used to going undefeated, but that's okay. Guess what? We're getting better, we're helping the kids out, and we're gonna grow. And that's the way I look at it. With Ryan, I'm gonna be next to him to support him because I think it's what's best.
I just, like I said, I'm for this 100%. I agree 100%. It's just, it's a big deal to do it, and are you here for the long haul? Are you here to stay? Are you here to do it? You're
I'm here as long
not
as you
leaving
guys
in 2
have me.
years, and not leaving, you know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah.
we've just had a lot of assistant principals that just leave it, you know, after a while.
Because we're
so-
great, we just.
You're
switch them up.
here, you're here to stay.
Are you, are you?
I'm not.
I mean, of course, whatever, I'm just saying, like, it's a
I'm
big,
ready for
This is his retirement gig.
okay.
it.
He's
My
ready.
grandkids go to school here. Yes. Really, you know.
Well, I think you've done a great job sharing all the information with us. I mean, I feel like we've been given a lot of information. I think going forward is just figuring out what that next step is and then proceeding from there and just keeping us in the loop.
Right, you guys are good with me going to this meeting, exploring and getting this information.
We do not have to take a vote. This is a blessing discussion. So,
Okay with that.
yeah,
Thank you, I appreciate it.
and then we'll support you.
And this isn't, and Brian's thought long and hard about this. I mean, this has been a very long process. And, you know, our last conversation, I invited him here tonight, just to bring all of you up to speed. And before we take any next steps, just to make sure you understood. But we appreciate his efforts.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you for doing
And
that.
guess what? You're gonna get to come back and let us know how.
We're just gonna keep you on the agenda right there.
That's awesome, that's wonderful.
Well, it's under letter E. so-
Actually, we do need monthly updates, I mean, come on, you know what's going on.
All right.
Well, but that would be something that I would like, we make this shift, it's, as Kim said, it's a big change. And especially as we invite bigger schools here, I want us to be good hosts. I want us to be ready for that. So, and that will take some investment on our part and planning, and it means calling in more troops, to have more gates, to have more seating, to have more parking, whatever that's gonna be. And I don't want, if this were to go through and we were to make some changes, some significant changes, some significant time making sure that we change well, so that then even our own people don't come and go, oh my gosh, this is a show for us to see what's going on, because we made all these changes and we're not even ready for it. You know, it's how we to change it, I mean, that's on you. It's your decision.
And we still
Trust
want,
you in that.
we still want home games. We
Oh,
don't
yes,
want it to
there,
like, oh, we
we're-
can't fit them here. Well, the track, years ago, the track was bad, so we didn't have any track meets here. They had to go away. And so, like, we still want everyone to come here, not say, oh, well, we don't have a big enough stadium, so we're going to LaPel to
Right.
play our
Yeah.
home game, so
Yeah.
we still want our home
We still
game.
will host the night invite, things like that. We have playing Newcastle next year in football. It's already on the schedule. So that's-
Most of those things we go back and forth each year, so when they just do a 5-year contract, we're here this year, next
Yeah, I
year,
just-
so we balance those.
Not say, well, we don't have seatings, we're just gonna go to LaPel.
Oh, I see.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't-
It's,
Make a
it's,
flyer, ready to carpool and bring lawn chairs.
So how quickly would this go into effect if everybody agrees to this?
I mean, it's a little new for me too.
Yeah.
Emotionally, I'm ready to cut ties with some people really quick. Legally, I mean, we still have some contracts in place. I don't want it to be, because again, Union City, I would call it as a friend. They were on our side and things like that. And I wouldn't want to cut them off at the knees by just not showing up and try to phase things in. I don't know how the other schools do things or and what their thoughts are. Again, we're really in the early discovery stage.
Yeah.
Does everybody want to do it? Are we doing all this? I know that Eastern, Hancock, and Shenandoah are ready to jump. They'll join anything.
Why?
Tell
Why are they wanting to leave theirs?
competitive balance.
Because they,
They already have to find like 6 or 7 football games.
Like Eastern Hancock is in the same conference as Randolph Southern.
Yeah, and there's only
I didn't
4
realize
football
that.
schools, and so and one school won't even play them. That's Weston, won't even play those guys. And so they're looking for full switch. To them, it gives them stability. And I keep talking about the football because that's apparently the hardest one to find all those.
and where people could get hurt,
Yeah,
if it was uneven, more uneven.
right. That you definitely see a competitive balance out of whack. It's definitely a safety issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, we're gonna move right into community comments. So I think we have one.
Just one lonesome.
So.
Sorry. Back to
No.
message, I'm late for another meeting, but that's okay. Hey, this is just as important. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name's John Roberts. I have Toxic Designs Window Tint and Graphics here in Fountain City. I also am the fire chief here in town. Been on Fountain City for 14 years. I spent 10 years and 10 and a half years in Waynesburg, and then been here for 14 years. So what I'm handing you and what I'm asking the school board tonight is to consider possibly holding a truck and tractor pull to benefit the FFA at the East Diamonds at the test plot. So I know that's a very crappy picture, and I know this is not a discussion, a bitter banter back and forth between the two. I'm just here asking, could be, and I'll leave you one of my cards also, so you have my contact and email. So the dotted line behind, so you can see the ball diamonds, the dotted line behind that is the section of field that I would be asking the school board to be able to use. I personally have a pulling tractor. I am in the Darke County Tractor Pullers Association. We run, it's like eight or 9 pulls a year, depending on people being able to facilitate holding us. So I feel that this is a great way for Fountain City to be more involved, the whole community be involved. It also would include the FFA. The rec league already has the very nice concession stand down there that could be utilized. I'm just asking if this is maybe a thought that you folks would entertain, because the ground belongs to you. So I know enough people where the cost to put the track in would pretty much be minimal, if any. Like the school is not going to be taxed with some big bill at the end. I'm going to try to get this done if you allow it, via donations and just people that that would be willing to help out this type of group. So the fire department every year brings the FFA in, they serve ice cream, help us at the firehouse. Then we write them a check at the end as a token of appreciation for helping the fire department, and also a way for the kids to be able to mingle with community members and whatever, just another way for them to raise some money. So this, in my opinion, is an excellent way for the FFA to maybe go down a different path other than just doing a test plot. I don't know the acreage off the top of my head back there, but I don't see them losing that much money. I think they would gain more money by holding a tractor pull. So that's why I'm here. I don't mean to take up a whole bunch of y'all's time tonight, but if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please email me, call me. That's my shop number that's on there. If anybody wants my cell number, I'd be glad to give it to you. If you have any comments or concerns, I'm
What
totally
happens in
available.
that field right now? I know it's a test plot, but what's happening in it?
Just beans at the moment, just soybeans.
So you're wanting to go from this dotted, that's right.
And I don't, that's if this was a different presentation form, I would have put it on Google Maps, put it up here so I can explain better, because it's a much better picture than a black and white one. So yes,
From the dotted lines.
yeah, so the only reason I would do it back there is because there's already a drive here, the semis, because some of these trucks and tractor pullers have full-blown semis and rigs and big gooseneck trailers, so we need an avenue to get in off of Fountain City Pike. So utilize this driveway. There's a pile right here in this corner that I think is just debris. That one could easily go away. That's not a big deal, but then we could either run the track north and south or east and west. It makes no difference. Whatever is convenient. So I've talked to the Darke County Tractor Puller Association, the guy that builds all the tracks for the entire season. He's come out and looked, he said it'd be a great spot because it's flat. Yeah, so it's literally just a matter of getting the blessing to be able to use that ground back there. Again, I don't know that we would need all of it, but I'd rather shoot for all of it and not need all of it than say we don't need that much and then we need more, if that makes sense.
So what kind of damage would be left behind for the test plot? Or if any?
No damage. So to put this into perspective, are you familiar with Palestine, Ohio, right over here on 36? Very, very small community. They have I don't even know if it's not done by the Lions Club. I don't know who that is over there, but they have a ball diamond, and we actually it's right back against the field, and we park on the ball diamonds. So if that tells you how much damage happens, there isn't, because they wouldn't let us park on the diamonds. Guys are responsible for picking up their own trash, like we're all adults, like it's and they always reiterate that at each event, guys, pick up your trash, make sure you don't leave anything behind, nobody's coming behind to do housekeeping, like this is the way it works. But as far as damage to the ground, there is none. The topsoil where the track would need to be removed and then clay brought in. And again, that would be, I know enough people that I can get.
So whose beans are they right now? Like who's farming that?
So the way I understand it, it's a test plot. So the FFA asks a local farmer to plant it. I don't know if, I don't know if it's sprayed.
FFA works with local farmers, they'll plant it, and then they harvest it in the fall, and then they use that. And then it sits from now until spring, and then they redo it.
But how can that not cause damage?
That's
I
why
don't
I didn't
understand
understand either.
How can it not?
I mean,
cause
doesn't
damage?
it tear up the ground as they?
So,
It's that strip.
well, the best way.
Essentially, that would, if I'm wrong, you would have that drag strip, but that would no longer be able to use as a chest plot. You'd have to use the other part of it.
Correct. So that it's not going to do away with the test plot altogether, because the other side of that ball diamond.
You're just talking about like that strip right above north, that's Palestine, Ohio.
Yes, so that
That's the
little
strip.
strip back there along that field and that track is 2 tracks wide.
So you're looking
So-
at basically the length of a baseball diamond.
Yeah, it's 450 foot with the runoff.
So you're talking about installing seating or putting like
Well, see, this
seating
is.
in or something like that, or?
Eventually, it would be nice to have some bleachers, for people to sit, but like there was a very, very little bleachers there and everybody brings lawn chairs and sits along. So there would be concrete barriers to keep on both sides of the track. That way, in case something does get squirrely, there is some containment, for the tractors or the trucks. But, so this is it's gonna be a building process because we're not gonna be able to come right out of the gate with lights and, seating, like bleacher seating and all this good stuff that I would love to see happen. But we have to start somewhere, and the stepping stone, for that location is coming here and asking you folks if you would even entertain letting a group, hold a tractor pull and then obviously include the FFA.
What if someone got hurt?
Well,
What if someone get killed?
So the sleds all carry their own liability, and I'm sure without a doubt that the school corporation holds an umbrella policy on that ground, because if someone walked across that field right now and broke their leg,
Right,
school's
but
still
that's
gonna
different
be-
than that, yeah, that's different.
but the sled does carry its own insurance policy, and then every driver that participates signs a waiver when he's when he drives that, release of liability. That's just the way it is, so.
So I think it's great that you brought this to us. I think it's a conversation we have to have. With community guidelines, we have to stay within those parameters. So what we can do is go back and have a discussion later or come up with more questions, but that's something then we would all have to discuss. And then
I wasn't prepared for a,
No,
Yeah.
that's
like a
okay.
full-on, like-
I know, it's supposed to be you just talking to us and then us coming back.
Yeah,
right?
because
So-
this is the
But
first
if you
point.
leave, we're not, we can't ask.
Well, that's writing down.
You have my email, so if you want to send this, I can forward it on.
Okay, I will actually send the color,
Yeah.
because it's
I know.
much better in color
Yeah.
than that black and white, and I need to make it bigger so you can actually see.
Yeah, and if you have any notes or anything you want to add to it, that's
What
fine
I'm
too, but
talking
I'll
about
send it
that.
on to them.
And if you guys say not to, I'm not gonna be upset. It's just, I think this is an avenue for this community to have something. And we could do it spring and fall if it gets to that point where we do one in the midsummer, late, early fall, and we see that it's a hit, spring and fall. You see what I mean? So we get that's my 2 cents. So.
Well, we
Yes,
appreciate
thank
Yeah,
it.
no problem.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
for
much.
Thank you for
allowing me to come
waiting.
in.
Yeah.
No, it's part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Folks, have a wonderful evening.
Enjoy your next meeting.
Yeah. Down to Boston.
All right, let's just jump on into consent items. On the consent items, we have the approval and signing of the August 2025 regular board meeting, the September 25 public hearing, and our September 10th, 25 special board meeting minutes. We also have approval of claims, the fundraisers, the donations, the field trips, the out-of-state field trips, and all personnel. I know we received all those in our board docs, and then also they are online for anyone to review. If there's any discussion on any of that,
And there's our donation.
oh, and there's our donation right there. Good picture.
Happily giving.
If there are no discussions, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to.
I thought I saw on here somewhere where you were, I don't know, go ahead.
Oh, no. Motion to approve the consent.
Oh, there, I found it.
There's no second yet, so you're free to continue.
I found it.
We have a motion. Is there a
I
second?
second.
Motion made by Mr. Van Dyne to approve the consent items, seconded by Ms. Claypool. All in favor? 4-0. All right, and hop on into new business. Do you want to go over all these?
I sure do.
Okay, great.
Okay, first up, we have the MOU with Indiana University. This is an arrangement to create an early in pathway to IU East for high school students interested in becoming educators. So the school benefits by being able to offer college credit merit education courses to qualified high school students, and by increasing the future pool of qualified teachers, by encouraging high school students to pursue careers in education. IU East benefits from this agreement, from maintaining an academic relationship with the school, and by recruiting students who may choose to complete their education degree at IU East. And I recommend the approval of our MOU with Indiana University.
I make a motion to approve the MOU with Indiana University.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Bartram to approve the MOU with Indiana University, seconded by Mr. Van Dyne. All in favor?
Aye.
4-0.
All right, next up is an MOU with Centerstone. So Centerstone is agreeing to provide counseling, social services, and related services to students at Northeastern and their families who qualify for a school-based social service program. The mission of this agreement is to expand school community connections to promote and care for social, emotional, and behavioral health at Northeastern. So this has been an ongoing partnership, and this is just a renewal of our memorandum of understanding.
I make a motion to approve the Centerstone MOU.
Second.
Edit on that. The one that's in this file still has Dr. Hicks'.
Yes, they're aware of that.
Motion made by Ms. Claypool to approve the Centerstone MOU, seconded by Ms. Bartram. All in favor?
Okay.
4-0.
Okay. Next up is the agreement with Reed Health for the athletic trainer contract. Mr. Sickman has reviewed this. We did ask for one change, and that change was made. If you'll look at section 4J, yes, in the notes, that says the school will assist athletic training complying with Reed's athletic training code by conduct by providing a third person adult to be present when significant disturbing or non-public treatment is required to be provided to the student athlete. The clause did allow for another student to be present. And AJ said that we wanted to make sure that that was an adult.
Can I ask a silly question?
You can.
So it says NEWSC. So is that meaning Northeastern Women's School Corporation?
Yes.
I've never seen the E.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I want to make sure.
Yeah, that's there.
Any questions on the Reed athletic trainer contract?
I make a motion to approve the Reed athletic trainer contract.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Claypool to approve the Reed athletic trainer contract, seconded by Mr. Van Dyne. All in favor?
Aye.
4-0.
Okay, the last item under new business is an agreement with Maisie Education. This is to provide English language development services delivered virtually to students by an EL teacher of record on a weekly basis. The teacher of record determines the instructional needs and plans English language development for students. School districts are required to have a licensed EL teacher, which we currently do not. Right now, and Mr. Smith can speak to that, I believe we have 5 students that will need to be, that are in need of EL services.
Is this the same as like second language, English? Okay.
English is, yes.
I was wondering where the S was and it
Mhm.
was like something changed.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, last year we had 3 students. Mr. Smith has been assisting with the WIDA testing.
It's not as fun as it sounds.
No, and stuff, but we'll have 5 students that we need to provide service.
So you said it has to be provided by an EL teacher.
By
which
teacher
we
license,
don't
right.
have.
Yes.
So how does that work?
It's virtual instruction. So Maisie Education has licensed EL teachers.
I see.
And they
So it's all
will
virtual.
provide support for teachers and they will they're required to meet with them weekly.
All right, motion to accept the EL agreement.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Van Dyne to approve the Maisie Education Agreement, seconded by Ms. Bartram. All in favor?
Do we have an on-site speech therapist?
Yes.
We do have on-site.
We don't use as you talking about like,
Yeah, I wondered
No.
if we use that
so, being part of the East Central Co-op, that provides like our, special ed coordinator, but our speech teachers are through there.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, I just-
All right, so that finishes new business. Under unfinished business, do you want to walk through those two?
Yep. Okay. And you'll remember, at the last meeting, and Mr. Sickman had, sent us a message and said we'd come back to that. So we went ahead and approved, policy 37. But the revision that needs to be made, is on the section that talks about executive sessions. So instead of saying just job performance evaluation, it should also read employee-specific compensation or employment matters of individual employees. So I'm just asking for a motion to approve the revision, and that will be added to that policy.
I make a motion to approve the revision of policy 37.
Motion made by Ms. Claypool to approve the policy 37 revision, seconded by Mr. Van Dyne. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, policy 2221. This is a policy on mandatory curriculum. There were recommended updates due to legislative changes, and those have been presented, so this is just for first reading.
We do not have to approve that tonight unless everybody has read that and is ready to approve it. If not, we can move that to second reading.
I read it, I'm ready to.
I'd like this one to go to a second reading, because I'd like to read into
I agree.
all the other policies that are attached to it that are referenced in this, and when I don't get them all as a bundle. So I'd like to go to a second reading for this one.
I approve the first reading of policy 2221. Or I make a motion to approve policy 221, first reading.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Claypool to approve the first reading, seconded by Ms. Bartram for policy 2221. All in favor? We need to say that it's going to second reading.
It
Oh.
just automatically goes to the second.
It just goes to second
So
reading.
he spoke
If
up,
you
I was like-
approve it, if you approve it,
We approved the first
You just-
reading, so now it comes back
Just
as a
approved
second
for it
reading.
to go to second reading.
thank you. Thank you.
And like she said, these are, they come down from the legislation, so it's the lawyers of the state that send these things to us, so that's where these kind of things come from, which is why it's different than when we get the big bulk of things. It's just something that's changed in a couple of the policies.
So what happens, usually in April, they send the bulk. And then any changes that happen after that, then you'll start getting, yeah, they send them usually July. They start coming through.
Looks like it's the same thing for the next one.
Yeah, so the next one is policy 2410, and this is audio, video, and digital recording of meetings. It also has some other policies tied to it. And I have cross-referenced those.
I'm fine with those. I'm fine with that one.
That one,
I make a motion to approve the first reading of policy 2461.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Claypool to approve the first reading of policy 2461, seconded by Ms. Bartram. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that is all of our unfinished business. We go into board comments. You said a lot tonight. Is there anything to say?
I was really glad that Ryan came and laid that all out for us because, you know, it's, like you said, it's a big deal and it's a lot of information, so it'll be interesting to see how that progresses.
Yeah, I appreciate someone standing up to do that because that could be a scary thing to start, you know, so I appreciate him wanting to make us better.
And I appreciate just letting us know that that's happening because it is something that could stir up the community a little bit, as you've already seen on social media. And those are things that are good for us to just to have a heads up on so that we can have a unified response and supportive of everything that you guys are doing. So thanks for the communication.
I really enjoyed hearing all the shout outs in each building. That was really nice to hear. It's good to hear all of our teachers' names, other staff members and what's going on in all of our buildings. So that was a nice piece you guys added tonight, so thank you.
I did get to review the footage of our event, so I thought it was, from what I could see up there, it all looked great. So thank you guys for efforts in making that happen for our students.
Are there any employee comments?
It was a nice meeting tonight. I like having people here, and I like student of the month. It just creates a good mood.
I'd like to say I'm happy that Mrs. Bryan is our superintendent for supporter. She's hit the ground running before, even in the interim role. And so I really appreciate what she's been doing. Being willing to be open to listen to some ideas and being willing to support us. And at the same time, if we're thinking outside the box and she says, no, let's wait. Okay, we'll wait. But it's been great to have her support. And then as far as our atmosphere with the team of administrators and employees that we've had that have been supportive with the exit of Mrs. Tinkle, they've been super helpful because it's nonstop days. But it's great to have a great team atmosphere. So
I would agree with all of that as well, and I'm glad to be back and see you all again.
A long summer.
Yeah.
Hang on tight, school year just started.
Right.
All right, if there are no other comments, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Ms. Bartram to adjourn, seconded by Mr. Van Dyne. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Fancy gavel. Thanks, guys. Great meeting.